Well, a while ago I came across a problem on Facebook, and I thought it would have been addressed by now, and it clearly hasn't. To which this problem causes damage to certain people's computers, which is a bit of a costly affair, especially if you don't know what you're doing and you take it to a computer shop that basically replaces everything in your machine and charges you a fortune, and when you get home you've still got the same problems. The issue is mainly addressed to people using Windows XP that have less than 2 gig of memory, which, for a lot of us out there, most of us have a gig. There's people out there on Pentium 3s with only 512 meg. Kill the ice cream, man. When you're done, like. Anyway, it's mainly going to affect people that have got a gig of memory or less. So, to put it in layman's terms, basically, when you open something on your computer, it opens up into your memory. Your hard disk is basically like a CD player or a record player, which means you can only play one song at a time. So the way computers work is anything you double click on basically just opens in the memory. That leaves your hard disk free to do everything else, such as running Windows and your virus killer, automatically checking for updates. Your hard disk, the ARM, like a record player, is basically bouncing backwards and forwards doing its job, and your memory takes most of the load. Now, when you're on Facebook and you're doing anything, basically, it starts to draw most of your memory. I mean, just clicking on edit photos so that you can add a description to every single picture at the same time, or you can move them. Internet Explorer 8, for example, is using 1 gig and 448 meg of RAM. So for anyone that's actually got a gig of RAM or less, they can't actually move their photos. To which, with the current issues that happen when you go on someone else's computer and try and move them, it takes forever to actually select all the drop downs, and when you finally click save, Facebook's encountered an error that they're working on to get it fixed as soon as they possibly can. Now, my issue here is when you run out of memory and it starts to use your swap file, your hard disk is getting absolutely battered, and I mean battered. And if it's an IDE hard disk, which is a lot slower than a SATA hard disk, then it's causing physical damage to your machine. Anything that's trying to open, if your virus killer is trying to get an update, or Windows is trying to actually install a security patch while you're on Facebook, it doesn't stand a chance. Which means to use Facebook on a computer running Windows XP with less than 2 gig of RAM means you're compromising your security, which means anything you're typing into your computer can be grabbed by a keylogger. Your virus killer can't see it because it just hasn't got the memory to maneuver. To which, this is literally causing physical damage to our computers, which I feel is wrong. And the fact that it's been like this now for almost 6 months, I don't understand how Facebook can actually get away with it, unless they're in partnership with Microsoft and they plan to get everybody to upgrade to newer systems that are running Vista and Windows 7 that automatically come with a SATA hard drive. This is alright for people that can go out and just afford to buy a laptop willy-nilly or another computer. But for some of us that are running, our dedicated computers, which we've been running for years, and we know what we're doing, and we have stacks of software. We're not the kind of people that format it once a fortnight and that. We're the ones that are actually suffering. Whereas the ones that have got more money than sense and just haven't got a clue about computers and can just go out and buy another one when they need to, that's what they do. But what about the little man out there? What about the guy that's, he's had a PC for a couple of years, he can't afford to actually upgrade it, and even if he did, it would cost too much to try and transfer all the software licenses and the programs and the templates and customized interface and basically most of your life's work, which has evolved over time, to which one day you switch your machine on and your hard disk doesn't actually work anymore because it's been scuppered like the clappers, as if it's just had a couple of cans of Monster or Red Bull. I don't actually think that's really fair, Facebook, and I think the way you're going, you're going to end up down the toilet. Another issue I've come across on Facebook recently is a lot more people's accounts are getting reported as fake. I assume a lot of people find this fun, do you know what I mean? But when you want to actually reactivate your account, you have to provide your full name, your date of birth, the email address you log in with, and an actual scan of a government issued photo ID which shows your face, your name and your date of birth. Facebook promised to delete this information as soon as they've verified your account exists. Now, there's no such thing as permanently deleting anything, and we all know this. It's there for forever, basically, and Facebook won't be the first site to be compromised. This happened back in 2009, 2010, where a lot of female accounts got this message when they tried to log in, and this was actually a hack on Facebook where they were gathering people's personal information. Now, to get yourself a photo ID in the UK will cost you £75. I don't see many people paying £75 to reactivate a Facebook account that someone thought would be amusing to report it as fake. I mean, does anyone even review the accounts? People getting deleted that have the name, the phone number, they have family members listed that all have the same kind of surnames and whatnot, but yet their accounts still get deactivated by Facebook. In the meantime, while you're waiting for them to review this magical photo ID, if you have one, you're losing all kinds of game requests, statistics, people are wondering where you are, people are wondering why your account's been deactivated and they can't contact you. And heavens forbid you've synced up all your accounts, your YouTube, Twitter, MySpace, your Google, and this thing where you connect to Facebook and you just log in with Facebook, to which, what happens if you can't log in anymore? Because they've just deactivated your Facebook because some idiots decided to report it. Again, this is another nail in Facebook's coffin, but I don't think it's anywhere near as severe as the actual physical damage that Facebook is causing when computers run out of memory and it starts to use your swap file and just kills your hard disk. And I've seen this a lot recently with the likes of Pentium 3 laptops with 512 mega RAM. Internet Explorer 8 alone, minimum requirements are 512 meg to start with. A computer that was designed for Windows XP was not designed for Windows XP Service Pack 2 or Service Pack 3 or Internet Explorer 8. So as it stands, unless you can keep on the cutting edge of technology and afford to buy, the likes of a Windows 7 machine with 4 gig of RAM, then Microsoft and YouTube and Facebook and Google, all these companies that are ever expanding and requiring more system requirements, are more and more slowing down your machine. You've got Internet Explorer, then you've got QuickTime, and you've got Macromedia Flash, Macromedia Shockwave, you've got Java, you've got Microsoft Silverlight, you've got Office stuff that's running in the background. The amount of stuff that you've got running on a home computer and you don't even need it. The fact that Microsoft insist on having a networked operating system in the home when you didn't really need one in the first place. Windows 98 users and Millennium users had no problem with a network cable using broadband. You don't need a network and operating system to be able to use a broadband internet connection. So the vulnerabilities there, to which Windows updates unless you subscribe to the TechNet support, you only get notified about them once a month when Windows checks. So when you're getting a Windows update on the 15th and this security vulnerability was reported on the 2nd, there's been a number of days your system's been connected to a network online and it's been vulnerable. And this isn't a virus, this is a vulnerability in the operating system. This is where someone can come in and get you. This is where your virus killer needs to be working full tilt. So does your firewall. It needs the memory that basically Facebook is stealing from the machine. This is why most people are having problems. It's not just the likes of LimeWire and downloading torrents. It's having Facebook logged in and lots of random things all updating on the page. You might as well be sitting there just hitting F5 constantly, refreshing it yourself at this rate. Facebook is looking pretty much doomed